Yeah, welcome back to the channel. I'm here in Thamesville today at Thames Sales Yard. I had done a video on the Thames Sales Yard earlier, and I was down at the feed lot. This is kind of their receiving, processing, shipping area. And I wanted to break this video into two because there's really too much to have on one video. So, and there's a lot of things to show here. So this is kind of part two of the Thamesville feedlot video. I'm here today with Nicole. Nicole, you're kind of the, are you the local vet?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nicole has a degree in journalism. She also works for the local newspaper.
Yeah.
And I have like zero education in reporting or anything. So, plus she knows a whole lot more about cattle than I do.
Oh, no.
So, take it away, Nicole.
Oh, well. I guess what do you want to know?
Tell us about what we're doing here this morning.
Well, this morning, every Saturday morning is pretty busy with processing cattle. Every time we have, Dad goes to sales a couple times a week, brings them home. We always put them through the squeeze, give them their shots and that, and send them out to customers or keep them here. So yeah, Friday he goes to Brussels, which is where we get a lot of our cattle. So yeah, we're gonna put them one group through the squeeze here, and we'll give them their vaccines. We give them about 4 to 5 different things. It depends, I guess, if they're double moved or first moved. So if they're first moved, this means that it's their first time away from their first home. So in that case, we give them a little bit more preventative stuff. You know, they have a greater chance of getting sick because their immunity is not as good. When they're double moved, we buy a lot of double moved cattle. They have good immunity. They've been around different herds and that, so it's easier for us. I guess they don't get sick as much. So yeah, you can go over and take a look at.
Perfect.
All right, so we got one in the squeeze here. This is the first thing that we always give them. It's Ivamec, and this is for lice. So you just spray it on the back. It just helps prevent lice. So we just set it kind of to the weight that the cattle, put it on them. This shot here is IBR. This is kind of like a flu shot. You give it to them to prevent them from getting IBR, which is a disease. So
infectious bovine rind tracheitis.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we just give them 2 cc's of that, and it does its job very good. So we do that right when they get here.
I get my flu shot every year, so could I come and get it here?
Sure, I'll give it to you next year.
Oh, that'd be great.
We also give all of the cattle a tag when they come in. It just helps with the books, kind of keeping everything straight. If you have a sick one or something, you'd want to remember it. It's easier to remember that. So just get different colors and different numbers and go through it like that. Dad's gonna check its teeth here. So we always check their teeth when they come in. That just kind of tells you their age. We like to sell them before they're 30 months. It's called an OTM, and if it's an OTM, you get a big discount. So when they come in now, we check them to kind of know that she was all baby. She'll have lots of time. So you just kind of know how old they are and how much time you can feed them for.
So, not being that smart on cattle, what does OTM mean?
Over 30 months. Yeah, so you check their teeth, and if it's over 30 months, they'll have more than 2 big teeth. So as soon as they get that 3rd tooth, that's what they go by at the processing plant. So yeah, it's a 20-cent discount if they're over. So if that day that they get that big tooth, you're dropping. So you always want to make sure we get them gone. We try to keep it until the very end if we can, and then you send them.
So 20 cents on an 800-pound carcass, 160 bucks.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And the meat would be no different, but they have to make a line somewhere, and that's the line. So, but yeah. So this is our safeguard product here. So we'll give this shot. You just kind of stick it up their mouth. She's not going to get it. She wasn't on the grass. They been feeding a lot of haylage too. That we'll give that to them, but pretty much if they've just been off the grass. And this keeps for worms, so it's a preventative to get rid of that. And keep
so these
that
cattle
happening.
come out of a feedlot?
Yes, yeah, somewhere. Have to ask Dad where they come from, but somewhere he bought them in Brussels. Yes.
So does he know where they come from?
A lot of the times, yeah, it'll
Do
show
they
you
tell
kind of where.
Tom, do they tell you what they're eating before?
Oh, sometimes they do. The shippers will tell you what they're fed, and they'll tell you if they're implanted or not. And we try to buy cattle that are not implanted, non-implanted cattle.
So what about implants? When do you put your implant in?
We don't use any of that. We don't use any hormones, steroids, like nothing like that. They did 25 years ago, and we found out that it really is not worth it. The cattle do a lot better. It's more natural. People like natural meat. So no, they do a lot better without them. I mean, some guys still use them, but not many now.
It's not saying that they do, not saying that they do better. They might do as well, they could do better, but it's more stress on the cattle. And it takes away on the grade. And people today do not want implanted meat. So,
Yeah.
So that's good news.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, people like to know, I think, especially during the whole COVID-19 thing, people are really wanting to know where their food comes from. I guess they maybe realize more the importance of it, knowing exactly where it's coming from, not coming from across the world or whatever, so.
And that's why I'm on this mission to do all these videos,
Yeah.
so we can show people where their food comes from and that our food here in Ontario is safe.
And we grow a lot of it.
And yeah, there's a lot of food grown in Ontario.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so our cattle are also on the Ontario Corn Fed program. It just basically means that, yeah, they're corn fed and they're registered under it. There's a lot of guys around here that are registered under it.
you keep track of any kind of medications that we use, if we do. And
Yep.
then they're marked.
Yeah. Yeah, so we also have some paperwork here that every time if we have a sick one or something, or if we treat them, then we write it down so you know when they've been done, so then you never have, there's always a withdrawal period within medicine, so you never want to put one to the processing plant if they have medicine in it. So yeah, we always mark that down.
and that's why we got an ear tag.
Exactly, yeah.
So we can tell this one,
Yeah,
686.
And we'll put a notch in it if we treat her for a sore foot, because that's also another problem that we have. Kind of really the only problem in the cattle business around here anyway is foot rot problems.
Actually, when we did the other video, Jeff talked about
Yeah.
foot rot, and he mentioned that you're kind of the foot rot doctor here. And maybe before we're done, we can have a look at the foot bath.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
'Cause I got one
Do you want
toes.
to step in there?
I got a toes been kind of bothering me. Maybe
Yeah.
I could get
Yeah.
it fixed here. I'm going to get everything done here today.
This is the medicine that we sometimes give them too. It's sulfa. So it's the same thing as a safeguard. We just stick it in their mouth and give them some shots. We used to give them pills. This just seems easier on the cattle. So it's just sulfa mixed with water.
That's for foot rot.
Yes, that's for foot rot. So we give it to them. If their foot's swelled up, you can just take a look at it, and you can tell if they need the foot bath or that. Sometimes they need both.
So if you have an animal at the other feedlot that has a foot rot, you
Yeah.
would bring it down here?
We can treat it down there. We don't have a foot bath there. Hopefully we'll get one of those soon. Yeah, we have a squeeze down there, so we'll just bring them up and treat them with that. Give them some penicillin just to help them. And if we treat them, usually if they need to be treated twice, then we'll bring them down here and keep them in a smaller pen. They seem to do well if they have a sore foot, less walking around, keep it really clean, close to the water, close to the feed. It's a lot easier on the animals. So.
And less competition.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, lots of room for them. So.
Perfect. I don't want to hold you up.
So something else we always have to make sure they have is a government tag, CCIA tag. So that's this little yellow tag here.
Do you have much trouble with them falling out?
The odd one, but not really, no. Sometimes they'll come from the sale and they don't have one, so we'll have to put it here, mark it down. We have government people come and take a look at that often, make sure we're doing that all right and kind of makes sense. So if there is ever some problem, they take a look at that number and they can trace it back. So you always have to make sure they have one of those.
Okay, this is the foot bath. So, same product in both spots?
Yeah, this is the only spot we have it right now.
No, but
Oh, no, there's nothing there.
This here has just been splashed back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just copper sulfate mixed in with a bunch of water. So we'll put them in there and let them stand in there for a couple minutes, and yeah, let them stand there. We clean it out every day. We got a little pool scooper thing. We clean all the manure out.
Yeah.
We switch it out every probably week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the use. Sometimes we have more than other times. Sometimes it doesn't get used for a week or two. But it seems to really help. We just installed this not even a year ago, so it's worked really well. We've been really happy with it.
You find it works better than the sulfa?
It works for different things. If there's a cut on the foot, you can kind of see if the foot started to open up a little bit. This does really well. It kind of treats it right there at the wound. But if the kind of foot's just kind of working inside and swells up, then we give it sulfa. A lot of the times though, we will do both, hopefully just to help it kind of get along faster.
To get her done.
Yeah, and some of them do get over it, like within the day you can't even tell, and they're back in the pen running around like nothing happened. Other times it takes a little bit, but we just keep treating them. Like we'll put them in here. If we have one that's real sore, we put her in here 5-6 days in a row, and it does help. It really helps. Sometimes it just needs more than others.
How do you make out in the winter?
Well,
With it.
that past winter wouldn't do that. It only shows a couple days.
Enough protection in here
Yeah.
and enough animals.
Yeah, but it will freeze on a real cold day.
Yeah.
There is probably 2 to 3 weeks of the year that we cannot use it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been good.
That's not bad.
No, that's not. No. and another thing, the foot rot maybe not as bad in the colder months of the year. It is what it is now. Somewhat.
Anyway, Nicole, thanks for taking the time. Tom, thanks for taking the time to show us what's going on.
Yep. Yep.
And
Appreciate you coming out and letting the rest of the world see what's going on in the cattle business.
I'm going to go down and take a minute with Jared and have a look at your ingredients.
I'll tell you where everything's from.
Perfect. Thanks again. So I'm here with Jared down at the, I guess you call it the feed room.
Yeah,
How are you, Jared?
I'm good. How are you?
And Jared is a graduate of University of Guelph. And like I always say, I'm a graduate of Ridgetown College. And I understand since I left Ridgetown College that University of Guelph is now part of Ridgetown College. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
That's right. Ridgetown College would be the mother of University of Guelph. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I like to rub that into my boys.
Yeah. We're in the same situation as Jeff. Yeah.
So tell us about what you got here.
All right, so this is kind of where we start. So this is just a mineral that we just throw in the bucket right at the beginning, just a general mineral for health-wise. And then over here we got some MGA. So it's more just kind of like a powder, more like a birth control, I guess. Keeps the cow from going in heat. Yep. So we put that in, and then
Keep the ladies away from that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So we make this so that we get the same. Make about 7, just so we get the same ration each batch.
So you pre-make these pails,
Yeah. Before we start,
and then when you come in here with the loader, you just...
all you do is dump it, and then about 3 or 4 shovelfuls of that stuff, and then off we go.
You using bicarb?
Yeah. So that's more for the keeps the stomach acid levels balanced, I guess.
Makes them burp.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it keeps the stomach nice and healthy, and yeah. So that's about half a pail full of that stuff, a couple shovelfuls of that, and then about half of this for the MGA. So we do that, and then I usually go and fill up with silage, the big bucket over there full.
What do we got in here?
This is just straw. So this is more of a scratcher, so it just kind of helps clean up the stomach every day.
So you put a little bit of this. This helps the rumen work, a little bit of straw.
Yep.
Because if you get feeding too much corn and stuff,
Yep.
they need something for scratch.
Yep. Kind of clogs it up.
So you run this through a chopper of some kind.
Yeah. So about every month we probably gotta put 10 or 13 bales through, and yeah, just blows it right in, and then we don't have to touch it for a
A
while.
nice dusty job.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a huge fan of it, but
Hey,
yeah. So then I come over and we go up to the silage, and about, I'd say just under half of the diet is silage. So we need lots of that. Jeff's grinding some corn now. We just got some shipments of corn in. That's about halfway done. So then next is distiller, so we're almost on the one pile there. So that's just a byproduct from the ethanol plants.
So you're feeding wet distillers?
Yeah, wet distillers, yeah. We used to feed dry, but this is more readily available, so works out good. So yeah, that's a little bit older stuff. This is the fresh stuff that came the other day. So it's kind of like a paste, almost. That's really hard there. Yeah.
So this is protein and energy?
Yeah, exactly, yep. Yeah, so quite a bit of that. Yeah, that just comes mostly out of Chatham for the ethanol plants. And then here, it's kind of the same thing, CDS. It's more of like a liquid version of that. So it's, you gotta be really careful with that, because we find if you put too much of that, it gets hard on the feet. So we had to kind of makeshift a bunker up here to hold it in.
That comes in a tanker truck.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah, we used to have a bunker over there, kind of a little hole for it, but we didn't get it for so long that me and Jeff filled it in, and then 3 weeks later we started.
You filled that in?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah, yeah. And then this is rye. So this year was the first year we actually planted rye as a cover crop.
So this is rye silage?
Yep. Yep. So we harvested this about probably a month and a half ago, maybe a month ago, and our feed nutritionist said we packed it and let it ferment for about 3 weeks to a month.
Smells good.
Yeah, so it kept really nicely actually. So we just started feeding this about a week ago.
So you're using this and taking a little silage out of the diet?
Yep, yep, yep. Well, we thought this could kind of be a scratcher to take care of the straw.
Oh yeah.
But we were told that it's not, so we still have to feed a little bit of straw, but no, it's feeding nice too. They like it.
Corn silage.
Yeah.
This is the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, the main ingredient. Yeah.
Yeah, without, I was told when I started feeding cattle, if you didn't have silage, you might as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
It don't work.
And you got to grow your own.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're just trying to work around the rye right now. We kind of put it in the way. But... And then over here we got brewer's grain. This comes out of the breweries, usually the Bat in London. My dad always says, as long as my friends keep drinking beer, we'll always have brewer's grain.
So this is brewer's grains?
Yeah.
So this afternoon, when you're out on the boat, you got to think, we're running low on brewer's grains.
Exactly.
If everybody could help you out a little bit here,
yeah.
that would help.
Yeah, so go right to the LCBO. Help us out a bit.
So what's in brewer's grains?
It's more just like a byproduct of the, when they make the beer, it almost feels just the same as the distillers. So
it's protein and energy.
Yeah, exact same thing, yeah. We find that you can feed more of this without upsetting the feed and stuff like that, so we've been feeding about almost twice as much as this in distillers.
Oh yeah. So you take a little bit of distillers out, put a little more.
Yeah, I was fine. Like, yeah, they kind of work together. One goes up, one goes down. And then in this bunker, we just extended it
This is a big bunker.
Yeah, we got some wheat here, but we haven't started feeding it yet.
Wheat's hard to feed, isn't it?
It
The boys in the West feed a lot of wheat.
Yeah, yeah. We don't do it very often.
I say good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't. We haven't fed in a while, but we just got this in a couple days ago, so we'll start doing that soon.
I know your dad doesn't like feeding wheat.
No.
He actually, with wheat too, it helps if you could soak it.
Right. Yeah.
And I was in a feedlot in Alberta. They were feeding wheat. No, not Alberta, Australia.
Okay. Oh, really?
And they were puffing it. Like it would be like puffed wheat.
Really?
It looked like breakfast cereal.
Yeah. Well, you got to open it up, right? So, unless you don't really get too much out of it. So we're almost out of this. This is our cob meal. So when we harvest the corn, just take the cob instead of the whole plant.
And run it through the harvester.
Yeah, just a different head on the harvester. Yeah.
So this is This is nice feed.
Yeah, so you can see it's just the cob right ground up. Yeah, it's good stuff. And it keeps really nicely too, as long as you pack it good. So we'll have to move on to the ground corn.
The ground corn.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Is that it?
We feed hominy as well. So it's almost just like it's a corn flour, really ground up. It honestly is just flour.
So where would hominy come from?
That comes from Dover Corn Products.
Oh, in Chatham.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not usually the one that takes care of the ordering, so. And then last but not least, we got bean hulls from yours truly.
Bean hulls, that's the magic
I
ingredient.
think so. Yeah.
You get those,
Most important, eh?
you get those from the Soybean
We
man.
do, yeah. Nice and close. That's what we got right in here.
He's a good fella.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Yeah, we're going through it pretty quick.
So what's bean hulls? What are they for?
Bean hulls, a lot of energy. Really light. Super, super light. So you gotta, we put about 3,000 or 300 pounds of it in a 13,000 pound batch. So it takes a lot because it literally weighs nothing. So yeah, we burn through that pretty quickly.
And
but
you
we
get
like
oat
it.
hulls?
Yeah, we do, but not right now.
Certain times of the year?
Certain times of year, yeah. But not right now. It changes, our diet usually changes every 2 weeks. Not too much, but just some things go up and down. And
Hominy, have we seen everything then?
hominies right over here, yeah.
This yard, since you've tore that building out, this has made a big difference.
Yeah, it's nice, eh? Yeah, so this is the hominy.
The squirrels like hominy?
I guess so, they're always in here. This stuff's dusty. But it is like a flower. You can see the corn in it, but it's very, it's opened right up. So, yeah, the cattle really like it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well it.
Well, Jared, thanks for taking the time
You're welcome.
to show us what you're doing and using. And anyway, I wanted to take a minute and thank everybody for viewing our channel. And I got a couple more jobs you need to do. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And one thing that's really nice is comments. If you've got a comment, put a comment down in the bottom, because really I have no idea if you like the video or not, and I haven't been getting many comments. Also haven't been getting many likes. Like we get about maybe 10 or 20 likes on a view of 800 people, which I don't know what the rest of you are thinking. Or you can send us an email at soybeanman@jacksonseedservice.com, and that'll come to me, and you can tell me what I did wrong or whatever. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to see and viewing this video, and I'll catch you next time.